Alright. New day. No, we're on new timepiece now. It's noon, but we still have one more hour on the 4 hour because okay, so this the right headphones? Yes. Um daily I mean, as far as the daily goes, we just really consolidating under this MA, but at the same time possibly squeezing into like a triangular formation. If we do squeeze into this triangular formation, I think there's a much higher probability of us breaking down than breaking up, especially given the strength of the rejections. Like every time we've had a pop, had a pretty strong, nasty rejection. This is probably the better place to be putting it. Just nothing sustainable in the way of buying. And we had this on this we had this rejection that broke below this level. This candle broke below this candle, and then we had this small inside bar, which also coincided with the weekly. I'll show that in a second. The weekly trying to print an inside green bar. I believe that this is the level. Like, and we close like here or something like that, and then we try to do this inside green bar, but then that also closed like here. So I don't even know if it's an inside green bar anymore. We'll have to take a look at that. But basically, actually, let's just look at it real quick. Yeah, it printed red. Horrible. Um, this was the breakdown. Short trigger is underneath this bar, which hasn't triggered yet. We basically ran it all the way back up. Certain exchanges have it breaking the level, but effectively it's an inside bar. Effectively, it's also a um, doji on a 2 day chart. Let's look at 2 days. Um, yeah, how do I do that? How many minutes is in a day? I don't even freaking know. Okay, we can just do that. Oh, doesn't work that way, huh? How about a 3 day? How about a 4 day? All looking green. That's fine. How about a 365 day? Interesting. Okay, back to the daily. So we're really, I mean, it's very clearly in this sort of consolidation zone now. Um, Trading range, but we're like also descending within this range, and we're also consolidating within the range below this MA. So I think more downside seems to be more likely. It really depends on how we like this daily bar now, how we're going to close it and how are we going to try and push, because like if the next bar pushes up here, we might possibly take another shot at this, and then maybe we get a dump. I think it's more likely than this. Is it though? Because we are holding this level. So it really depends, yeah. Are we going to hold this level? Because this is high or low. Like we have, here's the low, higher low, even higher low here, higher low here, higher low here. So possible, but then of course we are getting low, like lower high. I guess this isn't the lower high. Maybe this is your lower high, and then maybe we can stop here and go lower high. So this is very, very it's just pretty clearly like trying to get into a triangle, um, and tighten and tighten and tighten somewhere into this 40K range. Let me remove our drawings. So on the 4 hour, we kind of were talking about this the other day, right? This is the trade that we tried to take here. We had strong barbed wire, right? Clear kind of ranging here, and we had this small bar there, Let me open this up here real quick because I made a little like image. I don't know, like it's kind of, I can't show the image because it's on Discord instead. But yeah, we have this tight range. I'll just redraw it, right? Super tight range here. Let me just clear all the drawings and we're going to go to replay. Was it this bar? Yes. Okay. This was the situation we were at, and we had this. Yo, watch it. Hey, quiet. Tight range, super tight range. In fact, I had just put the tight range here. This is what I considered to be the tight range at the time. However you want to draw it, you can draw it up here, you can draw it down here. I mean, like, it makes sense either way, right? And we're having major whipsaw within the range. It's a consolidation underneath this MA, and we are getting kind of like 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, can build a trend line. And then we have this small bar at the top of the rejection range, or at the top of the range, and it's a rejection bar, small bar. So the setup was you take the short here, stop above here, and then target at least kind of the bottom of this range, if not potentially further down this way. I think the setup that I was taking profit at 38.4, and to increase the R, what I tried to do was get an entry here because this candle is kind of strong, right? This candle is kind of a strong pump bar, so I thought it could be possible that we kind of do like this and then dump. So I tried to get an entry kind of higher in here, and then I thought, it was an overnight trade, so I'll probably put the stop up here. So I put the stop a little bit higher, so then it ends up being, like you are risking more. And if you take the trade as is, it's almost a 1-to-1 risk to reward. So I try to be a little bit greedy with it. It didn't really work out. That's fine. But it ends up dumping. I believe this dumped almost, at least on the exchange that I trade, it dumped into the level, but I didn't get filled. And then this next bar tries to break up, or tries to put in the floor, the rejection floor. Jesus Christ. Because it's a barbed wire, strong barbed wire, right? So no breakout necessarily should be sustained, at least with any sort of immediacy. Yet another kind of small bar here, so kind of similar type of situation. You can keep the stop here if you haven't filled. I mean, at this point you filled, but if your target is like more down here in the 37s, then you haven't filled. You can probably move the stop to being here because you can now take this setup as well, right? And then nasty dump. And then that was kind of it. We had this strong buyback, can buy above this bar, and then we push right back up to this level. And then we get rejected here at the MA. Okay, whatever that was. Rejected at the MA, but now we have this sharp move up with a little bit of a sideways bear channel / bull flag. So I think on lower time frames, possibly looking for some sort of like 1 down, 2 down, and then a pop again to this 39.2 or higher level. And this is, I guess, that bar. Like if this bar closes near the high and then we break above it, then technically there's a shot at this. But what I don't like is how strong this is. We had super strength coming into here, and this also is kind of a channel, right? Let me stop using the drawing thing. Let me just use these. Like this is a channel, right? It's a spike for sure, but it's a channel. And we are not getting, like, we have this spike and then it's not being followed by much of a channel at all. So possibly after this, like possibly like 1, 2 down, then possibly we get like some sort of channel, that kind of thing, and then maybe we get 3 pushes and then another opportunity here, build a trading range, and then that would keep us underneath the, like in this, whatever this is, triangle that they're still trying to build. That's a little too forward looking. I think it's also possible that we just keep going from here. Like now we've expanded the trading range. So this was the trading range, right? We broke out of the trading range. We got back into the trading range. Your first target is the opposite side of the trading range, if not further. Possibly could put in a second leg here. But like I said, this is pretty strong rejection here. So probably would not see something like this. Probably would want to see something like this, slowly pushing that way. So unfortunately, I'm thinking that it's not going to be too many trades on this chart today. The only thing that I can really possibly see is maybe underneath here. So we have this small bar, right? And we broke underneath that small bar, but it ended up closing green, so that's not really a good signal bar for a short. Then we break down further. If we close this bar as is here, this 4-hour bar here now, and then we continue to push below it, I think that could be your short setup. On the daily chart, it's going to look kind of weird, but as long as we don't break above this, like that would probably be where your stop is going to be. You take the short here, and your stop you probably don't want to put the stop above here. You probably do put it above here, and you have the EMA blocking. So it does make more sense to kind of just maybe wait for a pullback, especially if we're kind of doing this channel business here. Maybe you get a pullback into this level, and you can get a short at like 38.9 with your stop kind of on the other side of here, and then looking for lower. But I think that on the daily chart, probably it's just probably safer to just wait for the break of this. And if you get that, we're probably likely to be testing this wick down here, if not the wick down here, if not putting in straight new lows, because we do now have one leg up, second leg up, and even this yet another rejection at the MA and consolidation / kind of rejecting under the MA. Like if this bar here doesn't do anything further, we'll consider that a rejection under the MA and probably look for more downside. Let's do a flip on this chart right quick and see how it looks. In my opinion, it just doesn't look ripe yet. One push down, retest of the high, second push down, and now we are consolidating here, but I'm not sure if we're just ready to rip this way yet. Kind of feels like maybe a little bit more sideways / attempting to break within this kind of triangle. Let me draw it this way. Kind of like this. Maybe a little bit more into this area before we go. So just probably going to be patient. Let's take a look at the monthly chart real quick. Oh yeah, and I would like to take a look at the weekly as well. Yeah, this monthly chart, see printing this inside bar. Now this is exactly what we're talking about here. Depending on how this monthly chart closes, if we close here and it's green, I think we're probably going. If we close exactly like this, you just take the trade here with your stop down here. It's a really simple trade. There's nothing really to do except take that trade, and this is your target, the MA. First profit target, first place to take some profits is Jesus Christ. First place to take some profits is going to be right here at 30K, and then your second target is going to be this MA. Let's look at the weekly chart, and then of course conversely, if we do push up to here and close this green bar, inside bar green, or like I don't know, even we break above it, You just have to take the long, and then probably to mid 50s at the very least, I would think, right, at that point. I've seen some people say like 50K. I've seen some people say 55K, 54K. Like, not really sure where we are getting those levels from. I don't really consider there to be any levels here, really. Like, is this what you're saying is your level? Something like this. It just looks stupid. I don't really understand why. Doesn't really make much sense to me, but I guess like there are enough taps, tap here, tap here, tap here, tap here, tap here. Whatever that means. So I could maybe find some sort of consensus in that range, but yeah, I think it's looking more likely that there's just a lot of selling pressure, right? Huge wick selling pressure, huge wick selling pressure, um, rejection, rejection. Let me just do this. Selling pressure, selling pressure, selling pressure. I mean, even this selling pressure under the MA, something like this happening, coming up on this type of consolidation. So like it seems like every time we break above 40K, it's getting sold off. So is it possible that 39.3 or whatever our current thing is the high? Yes, it is. But excuse me. I think your trigger on the weekly is a break below this last bar. And yeah, if that happens, I think we're probably looking to 30K very soon. I think we are probably looking for 30K by the end of not necessarily 30K by the end of the month, but I think we're looking to confirm that 30K is in the crosshairs by the end of the month. And I mean, it could just happen right now. Like this could very easily just happen like this, and then maybe like something like this. Kind of thing. Okay, we're not gonna go, maybe not all the way down to 4K, but you know what I mean. Like have some sort of what's it called, capitulation candle, and then some sort of capitulation, and then resume flight. You think? Not really. I think it's not. I think it's gonna take a lot more time than this if we do capitulate down into 20K or below. But yeah, that's going to be a crazy buying opportunity if we do get down that low. I kind of suspect we shouldn't get down that low just because it's just going to be too much buying there. Like at this like old all-time high level, 20K, like just tons of buying should be occurring there. So um, probably don't get that far down, but I do think that down towards 30K is very reasonable. And something like this exactly, I think, makes sense. Where we kind of retest this and like we kind of have this sort of trend line, and it could even be like a channel like this, and then maybe we finally take like, because this is first tap of the channel, maybe a second tap of the channel, and then we break down from the channel, capitulate out of the channel, and then like I said, once we break back into this channel, first target is here, and we could possibly bust back through back up into this 38K region, and then maybe take a test, and then slowly start grinding our way back up to highs maybe in 2023. I mean, like that would make it seem like this is going to be kind of just a bear year. Wouldn't be super surprised. This is a really strong wick at the high. A lot of selling pressure right above this 45, 46K region, and we haven't retested it even once. We haven't tested 48K. We haven't broken above 48K in 2022 yet. So really going to have to depend on, and like we're really trying to test the low of the last year's candle, which is 27.6. So I think that could be pretty nasty. Yeah, we could be in for some ugliness here. I mean, this is just crazy. This is just so crazy. Like if you look at this chart, this is just nasty. Like here, this is just so clear. Buy, nothing but buying here. Of course, you want to take some profit, take some profit. And then let's just kind of see how this goes. Like maybe this year could just be this type of thing, and then next year kind of this, and then keep marching. Wouldn't be surprised to see that. Wouldn't even be surprised to see this, like we push all the way down here, kind of close above this like in 30K or something like that, and then next year we go up to 52K, and then we continue marching higher and higher and higher. Feels weird because it doesn't seem like if we are going to remain bullish, it doesn't seem like we should wait all the way until 2026 or 2027 to retake 60K. It's hard to draw 12-month charts, but yeah, this is what we're looking at right now. Enough of all that. We always spend too much time talking about macro. We're not. This isn't a macro thing. This is just, you know, what are we looking at here? This is your high two. Here we had our high one, pullback, failed, right? And then here we're having our high two, 30 minutes to confirm, and it's underneath the EMA. It's underneath the MA, so I don't think anybody's going to be buying that. I think it's probably more likely to sell off. So probably if we do get a pop to 38.9 or 39, probably looking more for shorts than anything than longs. Kind of same with this, like this candle right here, super strong looking, like it wants to continue up, and it didn't continue up. There was nothing to continue. This was clearly too strong of selling, and not enough, what's it called? Not enough bullish interest. Even though we were bouncing off the EMA, it just didn't get the follow through. It didn't happen. So when it sells off like this, like I do not expect that we're gonna have it go like this. I think it's more likely that a pop like this gets rejected and sold off lower and lower and lower, and possibly through the low without anything else happening. I mean, we do have this, you know, if we don't break above this, like it's done. We're cooked right now, I think. If we don't break above this, we're probably cooked to below 37K within the next 48 hours. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking mainly for shorts right now, but it's tough to say because I don't have a great entry in R right now, because entering here, stop up here, and given how strong this is, I can't say just yet that we want to have a target below this region. I think it is reasonable because this pop out and then we weren't able to break above this high level, the prior high. So it does make sense that we're going to continue down, but I'm not willing and ready yet to take this trade. Probably need to wait for that 4-hour close, which is going to be coming up in 28 minutes. And then we'll see how it goes from there. Okay.